What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogreboy and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1992 movie Encino Man. So this movie is directed by Les Mayfield, and in this movie when high school misfits Stoney and Dave discover a long frozen primeval man buried in their backyard, but the thawed out Link, as the boys have named him, quickly becomes a wild card in the teens' already zany Southern California lives. After a shave and some new clothes, Link's presence at school makes the daily drudgery a lot more interesting. So this is a pretty funny movie. I think it's pretty good. Brendan Fraser is just absolutely great in here as Link. He just steals the show and everything, and as soon as he comes on screen is when the movie gets good. Like before that, it's just kind of an okay little buddy movie with about these two friends who are kind of misfits in school and everything, but as soon as he comes in, that's when it gets really good and everything. But I think that Brendan Fraser really carries the movie really well, although I will say that Sean Astin and Pauly Shore are both really great too in here, but it's Brendan Fraser that really steals the show. But I think they all work good together. All three of the main lead actors work really, really good together, and their friendship is written really well and everything. I think that's really good. And I love the premise too, like a caveman being frozen and brought back in modern day and stuff. Well, modern day at the time is a really interesting concept. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't had a remake of this movie already, because it is a unique concept that could be done in different eras and stuff and everything. I don't know how well it would have been if they would have done another one and everything, but I'm glad they never did remake it though. And I will say this isn't like a modern masterpiece or anything like, or a comedy masterpiece or anything, but it is a really fun time. And I think the comedy in here mostly works. It's mostly funny and everything with the physical comedy from Brendan Fraser, but there is some jokes and stuff that are pretty funny and everything too. And I especially love that also this movie does have a lot of heart to it too and everything. Like the heart of the story is the friendship between Link and Dave and Stoney, and it's done really well and everything. And while Pauly Shore isn't no Oscar-winning actor or anything, his performance as Stoney is pretty good too and everything. I will say that. And I think Sean Astin was good as Dave. I think they all three work well off of each other and complement each other really well. I will say that some of the jokes aren't funny, or they get a little bit played out too much and a little bit old, with especially like Pauly Shore doing his Pauly Shore talk, where he's talking about munching on some grindage and all this stuff that just really doesn't make sense what he's saying, which it does if you listen to him. You can tell what he means, but it just sounds so weird and everything, and it gets old after a while. It is what Pauly Shore does though, so if you're not a fan of Pauly Shore, you're not going to like it. I personally am a fan of him. It gets on my nerves a little bit in this movie because they played out just a little tiny bit too much, but not too much for me to say that I have a lot of negatives with it and everything. And I will say that this is a cheaper made low budget movie, so if you're not into those type of movies, you're probably not going to enjoy this, but for what it is, I think it's mostly a fun time and everything, mainly due to Brendan Fraser. Like I said, he's one of my favorite actors, and this is going to be the first of many reviews of Brendan Fraser movies, and this one was a really good start to his career. It was a perfect role for him. It really showed his comedic side, but it also showed that he does have acting chops and stuff, like the scenes where he has to cry and stuff. He really gives a great performance, and I honestly feel like it's kind of an underrated performance and everything, but he steals the show in this movie and completely carries the movie. I always kind of wish we would have gotten a sequel with the way this movie ended, but in a lot of ways I'm glad we didn't, because we don't really need Encino Woman or whatever, which I think there actually is a TV version called Encino Woman, but I've never seen it. I don't even know if it's actually real or not, but I've heard that it is. But yeah, so all in all, I think this is an okay movie. It's not one of my most favorites of all time or anything, but it is still a really enjoyable movie. It's a good first outing for Brendan Fraser, and it's a good Pauly Shore movie too. Like, is you can say what you want about Pauly Shore, but I personally find him to be funny and everything. I get why people wouldn't like him and stuff. I can see why they find him annoying, but I personally don't think he's annoying and everything. Like I said, he did get on my nerves a little bit in this movie, but not enough to say that I didn't like the movie or anything like that, because he was more of just being himself anyway. So, but yeah, so all in all, I'm going to give Encino Man a 7 out of 10. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments what you think of Encino Man, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.